I don't buy anything unless I'm buying it under market. That's just how it is. And a lot of people have a hard time fathoming that happening. But if you're patient and you're always diligently looking, you can always find property under market. A lot of people know that follow me already. I generally, when I rent a little bit under market. I keep rents a little bit low because if the economy does take a dive and does turn down, I don't want my tenants to leave. And I don't want to confuse people. I don't want to dissuade people. Listen, get into real estate, make money. It's the easiest money you'll ever make. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. I'm here with Tom from FlipAnythingUSA. You guys probably seen the video. I did an interview with him earlier, and Manny from 2000 Books. And we're actually here in Austin today. Tom has agreed to show us around. Tom is like my big real estate mentor. You know, I've been teaching you guys about the real estate deals that I do, mostly very small residential. I've got 26 units, but Tom is he's the guru. He really takes, if you want to take it to the next level. And so what we're going to do is we're just kind of looking at some of Tom's properties. He's kind of answering questions, kind of mentoring us. Everyone needs a mentor. It doesn't matter where you're at in life, and so that's what we're doing here. So yeah.
I just closed this last week. I've already got a for rent sign in the front yard, and I love this property. Super clean. People lived here 40 years.
Yeah.
Again, so I've got, a few $100,000 sitting in my pocket. I'm waiting for a building, but it's not happening. It's not happening. So, in the meantime, I'm combing a neighborhood that's near my office. And I find several properties like this one. Okay, now I'm the first one here. I'm the first one to say, I walk in because I know value. I don't hesitate. I don't have to say I'm going to think about it. I just go, I'll take it.
Right.
Okay. Now in this case, this one was going up on the market, but it hadn't been. It wasn't on the MLS, but there was a sign in the front that said, "Coming soon." Mm-hmm. So I see "coming soon." That means I got to knock on the door right now and push my way in, and that's what I did. And so I get in to meet the people and talk to the agent. And it's some elderly people retiring. Okay, now I walk in, and it's a little bit dated, which doesn't concern me at all. It's immaculate. It's got, and I walk in. So first thing I look over, and I mean, look at this backyard I see.
Yeah.
I see this amazing, beautiful backyard. And on the way to seeing this amazing little yard, I looked over in the kitchen and I see Formica tops that are perfect, that are probably 30 years old, but they're perfect. So I go, wow, the kitchen looks great. These people have lived here 40 years. They take care of their home. It looked fantastic in the front. I see a swimming pool. How much? They go, we're going to ask $219. I said, I'll take it. It didn't take me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I walked in the door. I know it's worth more than $219, and so now they're going. Well, they're gonna put it on the market in a week, and I said, well, I'll just take it. Let's just write it up right now. And I have my checkbook, and I say, and look, I said, they go, well, do you have a pre-qualified letter? I said, yeah, cash, and I show them my bank account.
Yeah.
And but I still want 30 days because I said I don't really want to use my cash. I want to pull it from another resource.
Right.
And they said, we understand it. But I said, but to make sure you know that I'm sincere, I wrote them a check for, actually they only asked for $2,500. I would have written one for $10,000. I said, $2,500, no problem. Gave them a $2,500 check. And I said, we're going to close in 30 days.
Yeah.
I'll see you then. And they actually were getting nervous.
Yeah.
And they kept calling me. And I'm like, and then anyways, they were nervous for nothing. But you talk about the motivations for selling and why people sell. People don't always care about squeezing every dollar out of a deal. You got to remember that. And now back to John's point. So I've got $218,000 or $220,000. I pay cash for this place. I can sell it tomorrow for $270.
Yeah.
So I made $50,000 if I flip it.
Right.
Okay. On my $219,000. Right. It's going to take you. How long is it going to take you to make $50,000 at 3% on $200,000?
All right. Yeah.
It's going to take a long time, man.
Yeah.
It's going to take about 20 years.
Now there's appreciation in it too, right?
Maybe.
But I guess there's appreciation on both sides. So your deal and my deal.
Yeah.
So I guess we can nullify those.
A little bit, except that there's appreciation.
Yeah.
I made the deal. I made my money on the purchase.
Exactly, on the purchase, for
and
sure.
you've already made your money. Your money is your equity, whatever it is.
Right.
And because this is what I always tell you, and everybody, listen, take this in mind. If you're not selling it, you're buying it. And that's the question you got to ask yourself, John.
Yeah, that's true.
What you think you're going to sell those for? Would you pay that for them?
Right. No, that's where,
And you're buying them.
When I first bought them, the cap rates were 9, 10%, maybe even like 11, 12% for some of those properties. But when I look at the current market value of the properties versus the rents that I'm getting now, it comes to like 3, 4%, or at the end, plus the maintenance and all the stuff that you don't know ahead of time.
And that's the desperation of the market, because the interest rate has dropped so low to borrow money. And the way people get paid on their money in the bank, they're desperate. So they will buy a property to make 4% or 3%.
Right.
It's nuts. If I can do that 3 times this year, and I already have.
Right.
With homes just like this in the neighborhood.
Right.
I'm going to make after tax $115,000.
Right.
On 200,000.
That makes sense. Okay.
So
if I do, so if I sell my properties, I've got the cash, or just selling those properties, and I do find a commercial deal, let's say a $2 million commercial deal. Well, if I'm buying a $2 million commercial deal, it's really worth $2.3 million, right? I mean, because I'm going to be buying it under market, obviously.
So what was that question again?
Yeah, so I guess, the thing I was scared was the capital gains, right? Like paying the tax on if I don't do the 1031. But, just from what you said with this property, if I buy a property for $2 million, like you said, it's going to be worth at least 2.5.
Right.
So I'm making 500,000 right there.
Yeah.
That more than pays for the capital gains taxes. It more than pays for, the loss of the income with rental income, right? So now it makes more sense to me.
Right, but right now the problem you have and I have is this: we're not finding that $2 million property.
Right.
I'm looking. I'm having trouble. I showed you one yesterday, and I told you I think it'd soften up from the 2.8. They'll probably go down to 1.5 by the time they have to move into their new building. But they're asking too much. They want too much for it. But I'd pay $1.5 million for it. But the point is this is an alternative that's better.
I see.
I would prefer to go buy the $2 million building, and have $200,000 a year coming in, right, and start buying a house like this every year thereafter with that money if I wanted to, or whatever. I like cash flow, and I like commercial properties. They're painless, but at the same time, your alternatives: hold properties, 13 properties in 2 states with managers you don't really trust.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Where here, you can have control of your money. Maybe you paid your taxes, but you have the power until a big building comes along to fork out $200,000 here and there. Right. Which I've done probably 5 times this year. Look, 219 to 225,000. I bought a little lake house too for about $100,000 or less, 80. Every one of them, I'm going to make money on. Right. And every one of them I can turn. And when I hit a year, and I've hit a year probably on one of them right now, I can turn it right now, pay short-term capital gains. Or the market's hot enough, I can kind of say, well, maybe I'll hang on a little bit, speculate a little bit. Right. You know what I mean? But you'd still have the ability to fire sale these. Right. Because if you need more cash and you do find that building.
Oh, I see. Because there's so much profit already baked in at that point.
So what you're looking for constantly is a really good opportunity, really good value opportunity, whether it's a 200K or $1 million. You're constantly looking for that. You find the 200K value, you take it, and you hold on till you find the bigger opportunity, and you say, all right, I can get out of this one and go to the bigger opportunity value.
Yeah, or just buy that $200,000 opportunity and just turn it.
Yeah. Right. And as a cash deal.
As a cash deal, and even if you flip it in a month, and say you make 50, which higher taxes now, you still make 35 after taxes.
Right, which is still way more income than I would make off of the property that I have in Idaho that I'm getting the rent for.
It's half a year's income.
Yeah.
It's half a year's income on one deal. Right. And with a fraction of the amount of money. Right. So anyway, I like stuff like this. I don't love a pool. This one I actually bought. I thought this would be a good one for. I got a daughter that's graduating. I thought she can buy this for me. I'll want to finance it for her, and she'll have a pool. Be pretty cool. And she's already going like, I don't know if I want to buy anything, so I think I'm just going to sell it. But you know what I mean? Yeah. When you have cash in hand, you've got power.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and like when you see those signs on the road, it says, fixer upper, or I have a great deal on a house. those guys don't have money. They might have a deal.
Oh,
That's the guy you can go to. And
Yeah.
he might go, hey, I've got this great deal. And you look at it and say, it's okay. It's not that good a deal. But he'll know that you're only, I tell anybody, agents say, well, what are you looking for? I said, man, I don't need you to look for anything for me in particular. All I can tell you is if you find something that you wish you could buy, but
Yeah.
you don't have the money,
that's okay.
call me.
Yeah.
Because that's the criteria that we're
Right.
looking for me. And that's why I have no loyalty to any particular agents. And let me clarify
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I don't say, I'm going to count on you to
Right.
find me. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
I run through the neighborhoods and I found this deal. Now, another one, an agent called me. I ran over. I said, write it up. I'll take it. I bought it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is if you know values, then you know very quickly, I'll take it.
Right.
But if you don't have the power to do that, there's nothing worse than being like a deer in the headlights, and you go, hey, what do you want for it? And they go, oh, I want 150, and you're going, and you don't respond.
You don't know
if
what
it's a
to
good
say.
deal or not.
Right.
It's silly to ask a question you don't already know the answer to.
So how do
know?
you develop this ability to find to understand what the inherent value is? I mean, it's not.
By looking at everything that's for sale, and then when
Yeah.
it sells, I know that I walk through this, and I find out it sells for $219. I go, okay, this sold. I know this is worth $219. Then I go see another one just like it, and it sells for $270. I'm thinking, oh, they sold that one too cheap.
Oh, I
You
see.
you start to do the math in your own head.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you're concentrating just on one neighborhood, and that's what I suggest you do, concentrate on the players immediately around you or between where you work every day and where you live. Just
Right.
stop, find something in between,
Yeah.
and you will find something. You will find something. And then you'll develop, to people will just think, God, you're really good at finding deals. And I am. But it's because I stop and look. If I see a for sale sign, if I see a for rent sign, I call on a for rent sign like it's a for sale sign.
Oh,
If it's for rent, it could be for sale.
Right.
you know?
That's true. That's true.
And
Yeah.
so that's the stuff you need to do. You see a garage sale. What's a
Yeah.
garage sale? Somebody's moving out.
Oh,
do
yeah.
they own the property or do they rent the property?
Right.
Either way, it's vacant. It
Right.
can be sold.
What's the difference between retail buyer and wholesale buyer?
Well, retail, you're paying the most. You're paying full what a
Paying
store would
what market
charge you.
value.
Right.
Wholesale,
But everyone
you're
wants to
gonna-
be a wholesale buyer. But what's the difference? Like, well, how do you?
Wholesaling is a new term to me. I just buy stuff under market.
Yeah,
Yeah,
under
buying it
value.
under market.
Yeah.
Under
Which
value.
is, I mean, that's all the real estate that I own. I pretty much did that, right? Like I made money on the purchase. I bought properties where I put 15 offers on different properties. and
Right.
Lowballed them. And,
You were doing a shotgun approach,
Exactly.
lowballing.
Or I
and some of
found a
it's stuff.
property that was someone's headache, drove by, duplex, it's in real shitty condition. I know
Yes.
it's valuable. Go and ask the guy, well, what do you want for it? And he's like, oh, this is the worst thing. It's a headache. And then, he's cutting a much better deal than.
Right, and that's the kind of thing that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a quick story. I had a guy live near me, and I got a ton of stories like this. He's been telling me he'll sell it to me. And I said, look, man, I want to buy this thing. I'm getting tired of waiting. So
Yeah.
I go over there, and I go to the door, and I look down, and he's sleeping on the couch. I'm looking right at him, this close. He's sleeping on the couch, and I was like, and I go, I'll come back.
Yeah.
So I intend to come back later that night. I don't come back. I tend to come back the next day.
Yeah.
I don't come back. I come back the day after that.
Ah.
And I go over to him and I said, hey, man, you were sleeping on the couch. I said, let's make that deal. Let's get this thing done. And he said, I sold it yesterday.
Oh, no.
I go, and this is a guy I've been
Yeah.
talking to for 10 years.
Yeah.
Who's promised me.
Yeah.
It's yours. He goes, I sold it yesterday.
Yeah.
I go, are you kidding me? And he goes, and I go, what? And I'm kind of mad, and I go, well, how much? And it was 110. I mean, these things were a lot more. And I go, 110. I go, man, I'd have given you 120.
Yeah.
And he goes, well. And I'm like,
Oh, well, it's
You know,
a 10 grand.
yeah,
right?
oh, well, yeah, he didn't care. I mean, really, he was saying, oh, well, to 100 grand, okay?
Right.
But, so I go, can you tell me who you sold it to? He says, yeah. And he gave me a number. I call that guy, and I go, yeah, man, that old man been telling me he's going to sell me this thing for 10 years. I want to buy it. I said, can I just buy it from you?
Right.
He said, well, man, I really plan on moving into it. And I said, well, look, you paid 110. I said, look, how about I give you 170,000? I think I told him 150 first.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, nah, I don't really want to sell it. I said, how about 170?
Yeah.
And he goes, nah, I think I want to keep it. And I go, I have another house. in the neighborhood. You want to look at it? It's already fixed up.
Yeah.
This that probably actually had a view too. And he goes, no, I think I just want to keep it tall. And I said, well, welcome to the neighborhood. You know,
Yeah.
I lost. I lost. And let me tell you, that scenario has happened to so many people where I come up and I'm looking at a property and then somebody walks out like, you know, the next door neighbor's like, yeah, can I help you?
Yeah.
Like I'm a vagrant, you know, or like, you know, an intruder.
Right.
I said, oh, hey, I'm Tom. You know, I own the place next to you. How you doing?
Yeah.
And it's not the welcome wagon. It's like, what? I were gonna sell that to me.
Yeah.
I said, well, sorry, they didn't. You know, but it's also because when I contact somebody to buy,
Yeah.
I
You're
intend
ready.
to sign it now,
Yeah.
not tomorrow.
Yeah.
And for the reasons that I'm stating to you and telling you, and even when I lost that deal with that guy sleeping on the couch, I knew better.
Yeah.
I knew better.
Yeah.
I knew better, and I know better today.
Yeah.
And even as much as I know, and having the painful things that I've had, once in a while I still slip a little bit. But a lot of it's I'm a little bit complacent because I have so much more money than I used to have.
Yeah.
You know, I'm disappointed, and I'm kind of mad. It's more like I'm personally mad at myself
Right.
because it's not supposed to happen. If you go into an existing residential area, like in this area, we drove through and there's a vacant lot.
Yeah.
Call on it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an easy one to
That's-
figure.
yeah.
It has utilities, it
It has
has
everything
electricity,
there.
water, and sewer.
You can improve it.
You can just sell it. You can just buy it, right, and sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's it.
Okay.
You get that stuff listed.
All right.